Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. His Majesty the King returned home after lending patronage in the presence of Her Majesty Queen Rania to the graduation ceremony of the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst's cadets, among them His Royal Highness Crown Prince Hussein. Jordan voted in municipal and decentralization elections to choose heads and members of municipal and governorate councils. The two elections were conducted simultaneously for the first time in the kingdom under an amended municipalities law and a new decentralization law. The aim, under His Majesty's directives, is to give local leaders on the municipal and governorate levels the mandate to decide developmental and investment priorities in their local communities. 4.1 million Jordanians were eligible to vote, of whom 53% are females and 47% males. An awareness media campaign by the Independent Election Commission, the IEC, preceded the election, targeting all segments of society to encourage citizens to take a proactive approach to the poll. Over 1,400 polling stations were set up across Jordan, with about 30,000 security personnel deployed to ensure law and order. Some 1,500 media representatives were accredited to cover the poll, with 6,200 local and international observers overseeing all stages of the process. Prime Minister Hani al-Mulki cast his ballot at Zain al-Sharaf Secondary School in Zahran area in Amman. He praised the election as a historic milestone in the kingdom's reform process and acknowledged the IEC efforts in running a smooth and well-organized poll. In a news briefing in the early afternoon, the IEC Chief Commissioner Khal said the Commission had not received any major observation or complaint that could affect the process, tarnish its integrity, or influence voters' choice. He urged the media as partners in the process to not hesitate in reporting any shortcoming or violation that could obstruct the poll or undermine its fairness. He said all complaints were being dealt with on the spot by the relevant authorities. Earlier in the day, Minister of Political and Parliamentary Affairs Musa al-Maaita, Minister of Municipal Affairs Walid al-Masri, and State Minister for Media Affairs Mohammed al-Momani spoke at a session attended by media representatives to highlight the significance of the election as a key step in political reform and public participation. The ministers each took turn to shed light on the political and technical aspects of the election, pointing to the key advantage of empowering citizens to take part in the decision-making process. Al-Momani described the poll as a day of national dialogue, with the ballot box being the platform for the dialogue. He praised the high coordination between the government and the IEC, which helped carry out a successful poll that Jordanians can be proud of, especially in light of unrest and turmoil in neighboring countries. Voters' turnout in the municipal and decentralization elections until 7 p.m. stood at 31.7% nationwide, according to the Independent Election Commission, with a number of polling stations still open to allow queuing voters to cast their ballots. 1,218,913 voters cast their ballots, with the highest turnout in Ajloon Governorate, reaching 55.69%. while the lowest was reported in the capital, Amman, at 14.38% of the electorate. Preliminary results are expected tomorrow. And in regional news, the Syrian military said one of its jets had crashed in southern Syria just hours after rebels said they had shot it down and captured its pilot. State-owned Al-Ikhbariya television quoted the Syrian army sources saying an investigation was underway to determine what caused the crash. It did not mention the fate of the pilot. And to Iraq, where Iraqi forces are carrying out airstrikes on Tel Afar, a town held by Daesh terrorists west of Mosul, in preparation for a ground assault. An Iraqi military spokesman said the army is waiting for the commander-in-chief, Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi, to give his orders for the liberation battle to start. Earlier today, Baghdad-based Al-Sumariya TV quoted the Defense Ministry spokesman as saying the ground attack should start after the aerial bombardment campaign. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said his country could abandon its nuclear agreement with world powers within hours if the United States were to impose any more new sanctions. Iran says newly imposed U.S. sanctions breach the agreement that Tehran reached in 2015 with the United States, Russia, China, and 3 European powers, in which it agreed to curb its nuclear work in return for the lifting of most sanctions. In sports, soccer's European governing body said Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Gianluigi Buffon have been nominated for the UEFA's Player of the Year award. The awards will be presented at this season's Champions League group stage draw in Monaco on August 24th. And finally, normal summer conditions prevail for the rest of tonight and tomorrow, with a high of 30 degrees Celsius in Amman. Tomorrow, while the Gulf of Aqaba can continue to expect high temperatures, reaching a maximum of 40 degrees with northerly moderate winds and slightly high seas. With this, we come to the end of the news. I'm Dana Absham. Thanks for watching and have a good night.